Good evening. Welcome to our West 80 Church of God midweek service. This week we are going to be giving some information to you as we reopen the in-house worship. My guest is my beautiful wife, Jen. I had a special guest that was supposed to be with us, and her name was Kate Proctor, and she chickened out on us and just wouldn't have to do it. She's afraid I would ask her something crazy, and I wouldn't do that to her. But we are happy that you are with us. Please tag and share. I hope all of our church family is watching, because this is not going to be long. But we have been working and setting up and trying to get ready for Sunday. And yes, we will be here Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and it will be a worship service only. We're not going to do odd times. We're just going to stay at 10 a.m. because Gina will need practice on getting back up and getting to church on time. And so that's the reason that the pastor is doing that. But you know, we'll get out early, and of course you can't go out and eat, so you can't beat the Baptist to the restaurant, so you can just go home and eat. But we are here, and we have some stuff that we are going through. It's been very trying times for families in many different aspects, and God has been good to us through this season, and I know He's been good to you through this season, and He's got us here. We're going to start with some guidelines, and I'm going to have Jen here just in a second to go over them. We're going to discuss them as we go through these. But what we're doing is we're following the CDC guidelines and our governor, Mr. Andy, and they've set forth some things for the church to follow and to do. And, you know, it may seem kind of strange. It may sound strange. But we are where we are, and surely in a few weeks we will be through this thing and not have to worry about these. So I'm going to have Jen to go through them, and we're going to discuss these a little bit as we go through them.
Well, I sent these out in an email, and if you didn't get the email, they're also posted on the doors as you come in. And so we're just going to go through them step by step. The first one is that if you have a fever or are coughing, we ask you to stay home, seek medical help.
That pretty well explains it.
Well,
yeah.
Honestly, it's a different way of operating, because a lot of times people used to press through and just
actually come to church for prayer.
Come on when they were sick, or go on into work when you're sick. But we're trying to be a little more cautious and ask you to stay home
at this time. And let me say something about this. I hope and pray that none of this happens. But as churches, some started opening this past Sunday, and then there'll be several opening this Sunday, and then even some will linger out for the next couple, 2 or 3 Sundays. But we're just hoping and praying that there isn't a big influx of this COVID-19 breakout in any of the churches, because that will be a tough pill for churches to swallow. Because people will talk about it in a negative way about us coming back together. And so we want to protect each other, and we also want to protect our church as a whole. And I hope other churches are doing the best they can to meet the guidelines. But if you're sick and if you come in, you know, if a church, God forbid, but if a church here in Russell County had 10 people test positive for COVID-19, it would be a tough pill to swallow. And so we're going to try our best to be as good as we can. We trust the Lord. I believe everything's good, and we're hoping that everything goes good. So that's the reason, if you're a bit sick, you just need to hold off on coming back to church. And I know some of our elderly people might not be here. We understand that. We're sad because I know you're missing church. And if you are uncomfortable about coming, don't worry about it. Just you know, we're gonna make sure that we do everything we can to stay connected with you. But if you're uncomfortable, just stay at home and enjoy TV Evangelist, read your Bible, and just surely we'll be back together. Next one.
The next one is we're going to ask that you wear a mask, because wearing helps to protect others and yourself.
Now these things is very tricky. You're hearing a lot of stuff on the And whether you agree with it or not, it's in the guidelines of the CDC right now, and our governor is pushing it hard. And they are saying this is one of the things that we have to do when we come back together. Now, I know the preacher, when he's preaching, will not be wearing a mask. The singer, our worship leader won't be wearing a mask when she's singing. And but if you can, any way possible, abide by this. We're going to have masks. We've got some here. We're going to have masks here Sunday. If you have your own mask and it's more comfortable for you to wear, please bring that.
And we have a limited supply too, so everybody that can bring their own, please do.
We've got you covered for this Sunday, but they're hard to get and they're actually really more expensive now, but we will be getting more. But we've got us covered for this week. But all those that have masks, please bring your own, and that will help the church out. But some people have expressed to me they can't wear a mask. My response is I'm not going to ask you to leave church if you don't have a mask on. But I am going to say this right here. You need to wear a mask if you can. And this is the reason. People are nervous. Not everybody, but people are nervous. There may be somebody sitting across the aisle from you or in front or back of you, and you don't wear a mask. You may make them extra nervous by not wearing a mask. So it's not only for protection of yourself, it's for the protection and actually the peace of mind of others. And that's the reason we're going to ask you to do that. If you have a medical reason that you can't wear a mask, understand that. If you suffocate and if you can't breathe, I understand that.
I think even in the governor's guidelines, he says that.
He does. And so we understand that. But if you're healthy and you have no trouble, we're probably going to be in the house. I mean, maybe an hour at the max. And that's not too much to ask for those that will do that. And if you can do that, please help us with that. Go ahead.
The next thing is that as you arrive, we ask that you please be seated immediately. Don't linger in the vestibule. Okay,
this is a big one. I have some great people that like to fellowship, as all churches do. But please, pretty please, I'm begging as a pastor, don't be trying to shake hands, hug people as they come in the door. Let's let this thing play out another week or two and see how these restrictions gets lifted from us. I want to say this. There is not a person on the face of the earth that loves to shake hands and hug kids and fellowship more than I do. And we have to restrain ourselves, and we have to make sure that we don't make other people feel so uncomfortable when they come in. And that's what we will do if we try to do that. So as you come in to the church, we're going to have some ushers. We've got the church set up. It's set up really neat, and I think you'll like the way we've got it set up. Just go grab your seat wherever you feel comfortable sitting, and grab your seat, and you can holler across and talk to one another, and just wave and whatever you want to do. But please do not gather in the vestibule as you come in until some of these restrictions are lifted. And I appreciate that. And I want to say this also. As church is dismissed, again, normally we like to fellowship. When church is dismissed, just sort of take your time, watch others, and just as people funnel out of the church, just give people space. When the family's going out, let that family get out the door and then another family go. And if you want to turn around and talk with somebody, that's fine while people's leaving, but just don't gather in a big group of people at the fellowship hall, because some people would be nervous about going through there, and I think that will help us as a church.
And that's part of the next point. Please maintain a distance of 6 feet between households. We've worked really hard today, moving the chairs around. Grateful we have chairs instead of the pews so that we're able to distance and make sure everything's 6 foot apart. We've got some sections that you can pick what section you're in with your family, and every section will be 6 foot apart from somebody else's family.
And we've got these in groups of 4 seats, and we have some families that's larger than that. It's okay for you to take 2 groups of seats beside each other or in front and back of each other. And then if we have couples, we have some couples that just have a two. Just get you a group of 4, and that'll be your seating area. If we have somebody that's single, group of 1, just get you a row, and that's yours. We don't want to mix families together, and we've got them set up. We can probably handle 60 to 70 people in the sanctuary. We've got it set up here, and we can probably handle another 50 over here. So we've got plenty of room, and I don't know how many people will come the first Sunday back. I hope the church house and the fellowship hall both are full. But if we can get everybody in the church that meets the guidelines, we will do that. And then if we have overflow, we have the fellowship hall here set up as well. We're going to be able to project on the wall, big nice screen of the service. It will be video live into the fellowship hall so we can all be together. And if we have where we're having to use these, what I would ask is, if you want to rotate, maybe one family takes fellowship hall one week, take the sanctuary the next week, and that way you can be in live service actually instead of just here in the fellowship hall. But we can work through that, and that'll be good.
So the next two are kind of combined things we've already talked about. Greet one another with a wave, not hugs or handshakes. Unless it's your own family. And then what the pastor was just talking about, after the sanctuary reaches 1/3 of its seating capacity, that's what the governor has said, then we're blessed again to have overflow that we can seat people in the fellowship hall. So I think that we'll have plenty enough room. We've got the, spaced apart, so we can do in the sanctuary and in the fellowship hall with a 1/3 capacity. The next one is that all the sanitation that we're got our hands on some Clorox wipes and Lysol today. We had some people give us a heads up when they saw some in the store, and we ran out and got some. We're going to have sanitizing wipes in the bathrooms to wipe down frequently handled surfaces. There's going to be hand sanitizer for anybody to use. We're going to Lysol everything down after every service. And
if you have any questions, if our church family has any questions at all, you can text them to our in the comments here of our Facebook Live feed, and we will answer the questions. If there's something that you're nervous about or that you want to ask us tonight, feel free to do that. We're going to be sending out some information through our text and making sure that we have everybody in the church aware of what we're doing. I think Jen's done sent out some stuff. But if you have a question tonight, no question is a dumb question. If you've got a question, ask us. We will answer it the best that we can and try to get through this. So we're going to be on for probably another 5, 10, 15 minutes. So if you have a question, please ask it, and then we'll try to get them answered.
Kayla Samlot Smith, I'm excited too. I can't wait either.
Yes, and congratulations, Kayla.
We will be honoring our graduates we're going to do it this Sunday or maybe the next?
We might do it next Sunday. I need to talk with my clerk and see where we are with that. But we always honor our graduates, and Kayla, you are going to be honored at the church this year. So, go ahead.
This is something you hear all the time. Your mama probably told you to do it. Wash your hands. Wash your hands for 2 minutes. And like I said, use the hand sanitizer to help keep germs away.
Evidently, before this COVID time, we was the filthiest people in the world. I am sick of hearing people tell me to wash my hands, and I know you are too, but that's what we do. Go ahead.
Okay, one more thing that's going to be a little different. We won't be passing the offering plate. We'll just set it by the door, and you'll be able to put it in there as you exit. Or if you'd like to give online, we have Tithely. Just go to the website, and then you can search West State Church of God, and you can give there.
Listen, I am not a pastor, even in church, and my church knows this, but I am not one that hammers on your giving, your money. I preach about stewardship and faithfulness of tithing, and you guys that do it, you're blessed, and you know you are. God has been so good to us. And let me tell you something, you guys have been faithful. And I thank you for that.
One more thing, we're in the fellowship hall, but we won't be here next Sunday for breakfast. No breakfast, no Wonderful Wednesday, no fellowship meals for the time being, but West Davie has some amazing cooks. I can't wait till we get back to that.
Yes, I think we need to have the pastor a big dinner as soon as we get back in here, before we can. Okay, is that all you got?
That's all I have.
Okay, I have a few things I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to my church family. I want to ask you to prep your kids. We have the most loving kids that I believe you could have. Talk to them this weekend about coming back to church, about not running to families. You know, some of our kids just love other church families here, and they want to go sit with somebody. They want to run around and hug everybody, and that's a good thing.
Amen.
But help us out and talk to them, because some of our smaller kids don't understand when you tell them you can't run and hug the pastor today. They just don't understand. So help us to prep your kids the best you can, and we will get through it. And as we have so far, and then we won't be having Sunday school. We will not be having children's church. We will be coming back on Wednesday nights, but we will not be having Wednesday night classes. And our kids love classes. Please keep them involved and bring them to church on Sundays and Wednesdays, because we're not having classes. I will make service as kid-friendly in my messages, my teaching, and everything I can for them. I think Kate is going to continue on with the kids' biz, and she's done a fabulous job with that. And she's going to continue to do that. And I know that we've had others reaching out to the youth and doing different things. But we need you to help us with the kids to try to let them understand, you know, we're going to church, but it's going to be a little different. And it's crazy to come in. Kids don't like to see it all the time. You know, maybe you can help with bringing them, you know, something to keep them busy. The smaller ones, even while you're in church. I don't recommend bringing games that sound out louder than the preacher when he's preaching. But you know, we will just whatever we can do to help. The Bible in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse number 2, Paul was telling Timothy, he said, to preach the word, to be ready in season and out of season. Convince, rebuke, exhort with all longsuffering and teaching. We've done this. The church has done this. We preached the word. We've kept going forth with the message. But, you know, it's one thing just to get on this camera and preach a sermon, and it's another thing to actually be hands-on with your church. And there's a big void there. I have pastor friends, and I read comments all the time, well, the church has finally been woken up and it's gone outside its walls. Well, I'm telling you what, the church needs to be inside its walls too. We need it for our strength. We need it for our ministry. And yes, we are the church when we walk into our jobs and in our neighborhoods. And I know that, and I've preached that for years, and our church has believed that. But boy, this has been a hit within the church, and I can't wait to get back to being the church that we are. You know, I believe that you know, has this been a tough pill to swallow? Yes. Has it been hard to understand? Yes. Is it scary? Yes. It's been scary to many people. It's been an eye-opener to the church. Have we learned from it? Yes, we've learned from this, and then are we going to be better because of this? I believe the church will be better. I have seen that, and we had talked about this probably for a year or so, even maybe 2 years before this hit, about doing live stream services. The pastor had drug his feet. That's me. It's expensive. I've had the question asked me, are we going to continue to do live feed after this? Yes, we are. It may take us a little while to get where we need to be, but we will do live stream, and it may take a little while to get there. We need to buy some equipment, we need to upgrade some equipment, and Sunday will not be live streamed. We will be shooting straight over here to the church because we don't have the capacity to do everything. But I will be meeting with our men, and we will be figuring out how and what we need to do to be able to afford this and then move forward, because this is one thing that we went through that shut the country down in 10 days. But we, the church, need to be more prepared for the next thing that's coming, and there will be a next thing. And we need to be more prepared in areas of being able to get the message out and reach out like we have been doing, and this is fine the way we're doing it now, but we will be more ready. And a guy was asking the other day, in the church, and I sort of surprised him. He said, well, preach, he said, we need to do this or need to do that, it's going to cost a little money. I said, well, if we do it like we need, I said, we're probably going to spend $5,000, computers, cameras, everything we need to do it right. We're probably going to do that. So that's a lot of money, and I know God is faithful, and He will help us prepare for the next thing. It may take a little while, but we will get there. We, the West 80 Church of God, we were ready spiritually. I don't think we've lost anybody. I think we was a good church. Technically, no, we wasn't ready. We scrambled. Thanks to my family, thanks to John, thanks to our music team, and even other people. I mean, Spanky's been he's over here working right now, helping us to get Wi-Fi in this building stronger so we can do things in this building. Was we ready? No, we was not ready. We was actually pretty much a mess that first week trying to do this. I was mad, and I made everybody else mad because it just wouldn't click. I said, why won't it work? Why won't it work? I was going and running to Walmart and buying stuff and trying to figure it out. So no, we jumped through some hoops, and God has been good to us. We've had some great reviews. We've had some great comments on our ministry through Facebook, and I thank God for that. But we just need to be more ready for whatever the next big thing is. We can't prepare for everything, but we, the church, I believe, in one sense, our eyes have been opened in a lot of ways, and we will be better. I am looking forward to Sunday. I preached. We had tried for 3 or 4 times to do a parking lot service, and God helped us to get the Mother's Day in, and we had a fabulous crowd and a good service, and I was so thankful for that. But I'll be honest with you, it was hard to preach because I was so emotional. Even like tonight, it's hard, but it's because of the opening of my eyes, just how important you are to me. And
I'll share with you, Kate and I were moving chairs over here and testing the live stream in the sanctuary, and I cried today, just being excited about being with everybody and what a blessing that is, and thinking about our brothers and sisters around the world that aren't able to meet with one another. So I can't wait for Sunday.
So church will be a little different. We will be having prayer. We will pray over special needs, but we will not call you around and lay hands on you and spit on you and do that. But we can pray. All we got to do is just be together where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name. He is in the midst, and so we will be the church, and we're gonna enjoy the worship, the fellowship, and the word and the worship and singing and stuff. We're gonna enjoy all that. but it'll be just a little bit different. I know that you guys will make it easy as we do this. Have we got any questions from anybody?
Yeah, we have a couple people asking what time we're going to be starting Sunday.
10 a.m. sharp. 10 a.m. Now, they say I run a few minutes late on starting service, but 10 a.m. you be here and come early and get you a good seat. We've got them all the way to the front. Somebody is going to have to sit up close to the pastor this Sunday, so come and get your seat, and we'll be excited.
And those people must have tuned in a little later, so I don't know if they
Yeah.
heard no Sunday school, just worship.
Yeah, it'll be a worship service. We're going to come in. We'll have we may have our worship team even playing worship music as you guys come in. I may start them 10 minutes early, and I may just give a break in between, maybe 10 minutes early to a song. Welcome everybody, get us started and turn them loose. And if my worship team is watching, I don't know who all is watching, you better be ready. You better be ready to tear it up and be ready to lead in some worship, because we're going to have a great time in worship Sunday. Anyone else? All right, well, that's all I have. Have you got anything else?
Nothing else.
Kate, would you like to come around and show me your smiling little face? She has been so good about helping me. As long as she don't have me sideways. The first service, she had me sideways for Jen sideways, I think it wasn't me. And she got mad at me because
We couldn't do it without her.
I tell her every Sunday, don't have me sideways. I'm sideways enough, but she's sad now. We love you guys. We will see you Sunday morning. God bless you.